Hi, I'm Dennis Gage, and welcome to My Classic Car. Well, this week we're in Paso, Robles, California for Warbirds, Wings and Wheels. This is a great show. It's here at the Estrella Warbirds Museum, and this is a really cool place in itself. Not just all this great military stuff, but there's also the Dick Woodland Auto Display. I know Dick, cool guy, amazing cars. So I tell you, good show, good cars. I say we get around and check this out. Hey Carol, how you doing?
Hey Dennis, I'm great. How are you?
Great, what a great day, what a great day.
Hey.
Another good show.
Absolutely.
What number is this?
Number 13.
Lucky 13, huh?
Lucky 13. This is number 13. Yeah.
Well, this is a fun show, and you know I must think that because I'm back again.
Yes, for the fourth time.
Yes, actually, I can't believe it myself. But it's such a unique venue. Well, first of all, Paso's a nice place.
Yes, it is.
You guys took care of us really well this time. You put us up at Electra
Vineyard Resort
Spa.
Vineyard Resort and Spa.
Oh my goodness.
That is the premier place in Paso to stay.
I would have to say it is.
The art collection is unbelievable. The grounds are magnificent.
Magnificent.
Food is out of this world.
Totally. Wine,
Service, wine, everything. I mean, it is first class.
You're right about the art. It's almost an art museum itself.
It is.
And
yes.
really interesting art.
Very interesting.
And
very
diverse.
Different.
Yeah. While the footprint of the whole vineyard isn't that big, it is amazing all that it has.
Yes.
You know, there's kind of there's the chapel and the vineyards themselves, and the labyrinth to meditate in, and it's just I don't think I've ever stayed any place like it.
And they're 100-year-old olive trees, and
which they brought in.
And
I found that I didn't know you could do that.
Yes.
But apparently
yes,
you can. Apparently
yes.
so. Yeah, and it really looks like it's been there forever.
But it's
really
fairly new.
Fairly new, and
new.
it just
that
is a reason to come here by itself.
Yes, it is.
And Paso, I think,
Very
has a
much
lot of
so.
reasons to come.
Yes.
There's a lot to do here. But boy, if you want to stay in the best imaginable place,
you go to
I'd say
Allegretto.
I think so.
You go to Allegretto.
And it's, I think, 7 minutes from here.
Yeah.
You really
Very
can't
close.
beat that, you know?
No, you can't. You have to come back and bring your wife.
I already said that.
Oh, okay.
Because it is so nice. And Paso's an interesting place in itself. You call this what? The Central Coast or the Central something?
We're Central Coast of California. We're widely known for the wine industry.
And some very good wines come out of here.
And now the olive oil is growing, the lavender is growing. A lot of microbreweries are popping up with beer, and we're just ever expanding.
You can spend some time here.
Yes,
you can spend some time here.
Over 300 wineries.
Yeah.
How long would it take you to go to one of those?
Well, I'd like to find out, actually. And I just love the museum. Of course, the Warbirds are stunning, and you don't ever get up this close to them, and you don't realize how big some of these planes are. You see them coming off an aircraft carrier. Oh, it looks cool. And then you're up next to it. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
And then Dick Woodland Auto Display.
It is the best auto museum on the Central Coast.
I tell you, it's the sprint car, dirt track car room. When I walked into that, I was like, I have never seen anything like this. It is such an incredible collection, and Dick is such an amazing guy, a Hall of Famer himself.
Yes. West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame.
Yeah, 2018 inductee.
And every one of those cars has a unique history.
Oh yeah, as does Dick.
As does Dick. Dick the duck farmer.
Yes, he is. That's an interesting story. So you got a great turnout today.
Yes, we do. We have over 238 cars.
That's good.
And I would say, based on the parking lot and the size of the crowd, we're probably pushing 4,000 spectators.
So this is really a fundraiser for the museum, is that right?
Yes, it is. This is the largest fundraiser we have for the museum for the year.
I just don't know another place like this. It's got these planes and then such a great car collection on top of it.
Yes, and the building with all of the military history and artifacts, and we have a diversity of things here. We really do.
I find it, and that's what I like about it really, is that if I happen to get bored with this area, I just go to that area because it's completely different, and it's all just so cool. Right. And everybody does seem to be having a blast.
Yes.
You got people that come every year.
Every year.
In fact, I've I've been here a few times and I've seen many of the same people.
Yeah.
But it's a great day, great cars, some great planes. What do you say we go look at a few?
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
John, we meet
Hey, we
again.
meet again. Long time no see.
Yeah, you know, it's, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like
Yeah,
that. We were
seems-
here at this very show,
Right.
and you had that crazy, what, 22
22 T-bucket with the wooden
wood,
cab.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I remember the e-brake,
The e-brake.
which
and
is
then,
a chunk of wood that came against
Right.
the tire, if I recall.
yeah, like a wagon, you know.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
my
exactly.
inspiration from a wagon.
Well, it was definitely, you could see it.
Yeah.
You could see it. And you're back at this show, because this is a fun show.
We are.
Yeah, I dig this show. I mean, where else can you park cars?
Under airplanes.
Under fighter bombers, jets. You know, I
Right.
mean, yeah, you don't get that every day.
No.
No. And you don't see this every day. This is one that you didn't create, but it's got a really special history. So
It
what's
does.
What's the scoop,
It does.
man?
It looks like something we would have done. That's why it attracted me.
There's not enough wood.
But yeah, not enough wood. I'd probably add some more wood. But it was originally in Disneyland, and they would sell fruit out of the back by Jungle Cruise. So a lot of people walking through the Jungle Cruise Adventureland area
Would walk by this
would walk
baby.
by this. They might have bought some, you know, frozen fruit or something out of the back.
Out of the back.
Right.
Ah, that's interesting. How long was it there?
You know, I think it was there from around the story. I remember 2002 to 2007, something like that. And then it disappeared, and I lost track of it for years and years. And anyways, I came across it a few years ago,
And
it took me a long time to talk the gentleman into buying it. He's retired now, and he
Yeah.
liked my story, and he knew that we would show it. And since then, I put a new engine in it and a new transmission, so
Yeah.
it runs and drives 0 hours on the engine.
Yeah, in fact, I don't think you even drove it here, did you?
No, the battery's a little dead,
there you
so
go.
and I don't even know how to drive the.
Hey, well, it's a T, and that's just
Right.
different. It's
Yeah,
different.
there's-
So why did it leave Disney? What's the story?
You know, from the story I gathered,
Yes.
there was some inspection going on, and it sat in the middle of the Jungle Cruise emergency exit.
Oh, that's probably not a good thing.
So they said, "What's this doing here? Get it out of here!" And that it was ordered to be destroyed.
Oh, really?
They were going to scrap it. So a friend of mine actually found it, and he talked him out of it. And he's had it in storage since 2007.
My God.
I've had it for about a year.
So this was, I mean, all of this, the painting and everything, this was what it was like when it was at Disneyland.
Right, Disney Imagineering's the one who did all the theming. I added the little skull here guy because I thought that'd be kind of cool. But
That's your own
yeah,
skull.
that's our touch,
Well,
right.
not your skull, but it's your touch.
well, we made it look like a zombie there.
And did it have these accessories or these?
Yeah, everything
This
is
is what it was-
exactly like it was.
Wow.
Right.
Is that picture basically?
That picture's where it's at. That's the Jungle Cruise exit.
And you could actually just buy stuff right
Buy
out of it.
frozen fruit, I think it was.
Man, how cool is that?
And I just think it's, you don't see island taxi cargos running around very often.
No, you really don't. So I mean, it's a wooden spoke wheels,
Wooden
right?
spoke, yeah.
What year did you say?
26.
26.
1926.
So is it still a crank, or did you put in electric start?
It does have electric start,
Uh-huh.
and you can crank it,
Uh-huh.
although the electric start's a whole lot easier.
Oh yes, a lot less dangerous too.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, man, you got it. Well, keep your hand open for one
Right.
thing. Learn
For
that
emergencies.
I learned that from Leno, and I like the transverse leaf up here.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even know how she drives.
No, but I did get a ride in it when we first bought it, and something let loose in the transmission. One of the bolts or something came loose, and it got wedged between the flywheel and the, and it stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, right behind my shop.
Right there.
So we towed it back into the shop and just took it apart, and I sent it out for a rebuild, and we just put it in a couple months ago. This is the first time I've had it out since the motor was ran. We started it up and got it all on video, and then I haven't learned to drive it yet. So, but this is our first show, and I intend to drive it through Pioneer Day.
Oh, cool.
So-
when's that going to be?
That's usually in October, beginning of October.
You'll figure it out by
Right,
then. Oh,
right.
yeah. Now, were those like the carbide or acetylene lights, or are they?
Disney had put in all their lights are 12 volt.
Oh.
So there's a little converter back. So when you plug it in, because it was a display car,
sure. So it would light
all
up.
the lights will light up.
And that wiring's all still there?
It is. I haven't, since we've removed the cab, I had to cut the wires. But the wiring's still there. I just have to connect it again.
Interior-wise, it's probably not much of an interior.
Yeah, it's just, we figure the seat here, they just did a little vinyl, and Disney did all this.
Yeah.
They just wanted to look like the guys in the jungle. Repulsor.
Well, I like the machetes over there.
Yeah,
but the painting is so cool and so island-esque.
Right, like I said, Disney Imagineering came in and did all their little touches to make it look appropriate, like it's supposed to be on the island. Yeah,
and none of these pedals work like pedals you're used to.
I don't know. I know that if I pull that all the way back, it's the brake, and when I go forward, it engages. I believe this one fully in is reverse, but again, I only witnessed this one time.
Yeah,
and I haven't fully learned how to drive it yet.
It's not like...
And then we have the throttle here, and then the timing, and I kind of understand, but I need to practice.
Yeah, I would do that before you took it in a parade.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, and all this stuff. These are the basically the fruit crates and everything.
Yeah, these are the fruit crates that they had the frozen fruit in. And I mean, there's even a spear from the Disney guys there, and they had all the fake vine on there to theme it out, so it was appropriate for jungle.
Like the bamboo.
The bamboo cross members and things.
And there's still a few more. There's a few more skulls here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we added all the skulls because we make props like this, and this is just plastic, and we take a skull like a Halloween prop, and you wrap plastic around and melt it with a heat gun.
Oh yeah.
Put a little bit of wood stain on there, and voila, you have a zombie.
You got yourself a zombie. Everybody should have a zombie, I guess.
Right.
Got your hammock up there.
My hammock, and there's a little spear there, and there's a net.
Oh, yeah.
So there's most of the stuff is all screwed down because, like I said, Disney bolted it all down so people can't run off with it.
Well, and it's that's great because you can go bombing down the road and.
We've had a couple weddings at my shop, and we put all the hors d'oeuvres and the cakes and things in here, and it was real nice. And when you plug the plug in, all the lights come on, so it looks really nice inside.
What a cool thing to have.
It lives indoor now, and it barely goes outside, but when it does go outside, it's for show.
Now, like I said, I saw you 6-7 years ago here.
Right.
Do you come to this show every year? You're from around here,
every year. Yeah, I grew up just right on the other side of the airport. My shop is right on the other side of the airport over there.
So yeah, you're a hometown boy. You got to come to this show.
Right. We just grew up with. I can walk to our family ranch from here. So we grew up. We used to drive an old 1946 Wheelies Jeep. We were 12 or 13 years old. We'd drive to the airport from the ranch on the back roads, back when you can get away with that stuff.
Yeah.
And we'd come over here to wash airplanes.
Oh yeah, take a little side money for.
Yeah, a little side money. So we'd wash an airplane, and a typical airplane was about $100.
Oh wow.
And this is in the early '80s.
That's
so
big money.
$100 for us.
Yeah, that's a big money.
I'm telling you what, we made some money today. We made $100. Woo.
Did they ever take you up and around?
We had offers, but we were a little scared to go with people we didn't know. But we did find out washing airplanes made a lot more money than washing cars.
Yeah.
And when you're like 13 years old, $100 went a long way. So.
Man. And it beget the shop and all these other crazy stuff that you and your brother do now.
Yeah, that's the early business thing that we were learning.
There you go. Well, this is way cool. I'm so glad you brought it out. 26, right?
Yep.
Disney prop.
Disney prop.
From Disneyland.
Right.
The real deal. I can't wait to see what you bring next.
All right. Well, I'm thinking of new stuff every day.
Manny, I dig this car. I really do. 62 Electra 225, Buick Electra 225 convertible.
Convertible.
I have never seen one. There can't be many of these around.
You don't see too many of them. That's one of the nice things when you go to shows and cruises and stuff is that reason.
Yeah.
It stands out.
Yeah, oh man. And we chatted earlier, so I know you didn't buy it like this.
No.
No.
No, far from it.
So it really was a barn find.
It was, yeah. It had moss, rust, had to do quite a bit of fabrication on it, and full restoration.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have taken a project like that. It looked pretty rough.
I had some doubts. Yeah, finding parts was a
Well, I
challenge.
was just going to say, you know, they didn't make that many of these. Nobody repops anything for them.
No.
So it's eBay, I guess, and swap meets, right?
Right, and sometimes you're lucky. The back trim on the back of the convertible top is equal to the Impala and Cadillac.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. So some of that stuff does.
So you lucked out.
Lucked out on some of it.
Well, you know, one of the things that kind of caught my eye about this, because I mean, it's Buick, no question. But you know, this is almost a little bit Pontiac.
Yes.
Almost have
Yeah.
a little bit of Pontiac
You're right,
arrow there.
yeah.
But the other thing I love with that is, and the detail back then was so cool. The vents on this piece, right there.
They continue on into the cowl. Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah. That
And
was cool.
you know, kind of the extended headlights.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just beautiful. And I, again, saw the pictures. So you must have re-chromed everything.
Pretty much everything.
You know, that's a bargain too.
Yeah.
Re-chroming.
It is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a real bargain.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Do not want to do that again.
You do not want to do that. So interesting color. It's called.
Laurel mist green with some metallic in it.
Yeah, because it really in the sunlight it just really pops. I love the whites on it. And you know, I also noticed those hubcaps with the gold center.
Yeah.
You know,
center
trim,
caps.
and that's correct. for
Yep.
this?
Yes, it is for this year. Mhm.
Wouldn't want to lose one of those either, would you?
No, they're hard to find.
So you have the four
Ports?
Ventaports.
Ventaports.
I think is the
yeah,
official.
the Ventaports.
And this was like one of the last years for this kind
Kind of a wraparound,
windshield, 'cause,
semi-wraparound.
you know, you got some distortion. There's a little bit of lens effect.
You do when you're driving, so you just kind of have to be mindful of that.
But it sure, you know, I just love how that comes around. And if you have to do fabrication, there's a lot of little lines and character lines and dents and things you got to put in.
Yeah, it is.
So I bet
And
it's-
lots of different trim pieces that you have to make sure, you know.
So I mean,
yeah.
did you like have to? I mean, these are probably all the original trims. You have to just straighten
some
them
was
stuff?
original, some I had to hunt down for the ones
Yeah.
that were too damaged.
And is it chrome or is it these stainless?
Stainless and some chrome on
Yeah.
the car as well, combination.
Now, how about, is this like a correct interior fabric?
It's not the fabric. It's more, you know, modern and
Yeah.
more utility, I guess, oriented. Not leather. We had leather originally.
Oh, really? It
But
did, huh?
yeah, it had the original leather, and I changed that. I tried to keep the color pretty much the same.
But like everything in here too. I mean, the dash, everything had to be done.
Yes,
Just wow.
Yeah,
So
we do
where
everything.
did you find it?
I found it 2 houses down from where I grew up.
No way.
50 years ago, this lady who owned it
Yeah?
used to go into town to work and back, and I loved the sound of it when she came home.
Oh, yeah.
And I was drawn to it, and so I waited until her son eventually sold it, and the family
So
they called
I
me.
mean,
And,
you've known this car for 50 years?
yes,
Wow.
I wanted it for
For 50 years.
and I got it.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's determination. But again, I mean, just look at like how this line here comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's, you know, just a smooth curve here, then all of a sudden you've got that, you know, that
The
very
crease.
sharp crease. So is this thing cast? Is that actually a pot metal piece?
It is, and it was chromed, and then I believe they used to paint in between the lines, but I just opted to keep it chromed.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It stands out.
And I tell you the thing that to me that just really sets this car off is these hooded taillights. I think it looks cool. I don't think it's a particularly good idea.
Probably obscures a little
Probably
bit.
does.
of
They
the-
probably made him
yeah,
quit doing
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
But wow.
yeah.
I don't know that was on anything else, was it? I don't know that
You know, I'm not sure, but again, that's what makes it a little harder to find, but well worth it.
I'll say.
Yeah.
So you're not sporting the original nailhead, are you still?
Oh yeah, original. Yeah,
Let's go look.
numbers matching with the exception of a
Let's
few
go
pieces.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Pop the hood on this baby. Oh yeah, and that's the correct color too,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Which is kind of close to the body color, but not exactly.
Right. Right. Yeah, but it does kind of go with it.
No, was it a Wildcat engine?
It had the Wildcat air cleaner, and then the 445 for the torque.
Right. Yeah, the
And
Buick always
the
did
Buick.
that. 445.
Lots of
Well,
torque.
there's the
Lots
torque,
of torque.
but it's a 401.
401
and the
nail.
nail head with the kind of straight up and down valve
And the
covers.
Dynaflow transmission.
Oh, Dynaflow. no
Dynaflow
kidding.
transmission.
Dynaflow.
Yeah.
Man, and it probably just floats down.
Sails
the road.
down the road.
Oh,
just like off the showroom. It really came back. Surprisingly, drives really well.
And that original engine numbers matching all the way
Yes.
through the car.
Yeah. Had it rebuilt. Of course, transmission as well.
The lines on this car just slay me. I tell you, you know, as I saw it from quite a ways away, and I went, wow, you know, I'm not even sure what that is. I mean, I knew it was a Buick. And 62, deuce and a quarter convertible.
Deuce and a quarter.
First one I've ever done on the show. First one I think I've ever seen. Man, this thing's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for bringing it out. I love it. Dynaflow. Well, Barbara, I'm a Jag guy. I'm a fan of Jaguars. I've had a few. I've got a few. This is a beautiful Jag that you don't see very often. This is what, a 67 420G.
Yes.
Now I knew there were 420s. You see 420s around more, but the G is a different car, kind of. Yes.
Well, yes. The predecessor to the G was the Mark 10.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
they came out with the 420G, they just made like 3 different upgrades. They upgraded to the perforated seats, a different speedometer area that used to be on the front of the steering wheel, and then I think the clock.
Okay.
It was
Well, I mean, it's a bigger car than, than a regular 420, right?
Yes, quite
It's
a bit bigger.
I think these, and you don't see them because I don't think they really made that many of them, and they weren't terribly popular initially. It's a transition car.
Yes.
But, you know, the more time passes, the more you go, you know, that's a pretty good looking car.
Yeah, yeah.
Great
There's
line.
not many left anymore.
No. So how long have you had it?
Since 1999, so
goodness.
23 years.
And where did you find it?
In Porterville, California. I saw it in a magazine and gave the guy a call, and it had been in storage. He bought it in '89. It had been in storage for 10 years, and we got it. And
You had to go through it, I'm sure.
oh yeah, the seats were like paper. You know, they were so stiff and stuff. But so we had all the interior gutted and new seats, new paint. Original paint colors, but it's not the original
And they were
paint.
two-tone was an option
Yes,
too, right?
yes,
Yeah. You got that great Jag hood, you know,
Yeah.
as they finally got away from the the big grill, but this is one of the last ones, the big grill.
Yeah.
And speaking of the interior, you guys did a stunning job.
Oh,
on
well,
this.
thank you.
Was this would this kind of camel color have been the original color?
Well, what was in it was real similar that we couldn't get the original color. It had a little bit redder tones to it, but it was as close as we could find.
And the wood, I mean, I just, for me,
Yeah.
these dashes are worth the
Yeah,
price of
of the
admission right
car.
there. Yeah, they're just beautiful.
Yeah.
And it is right-hand drive. I
Yes,
had a
it is.
67 S-Type that was right-hand drive.
yeah.
And it's a challenge.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's hard to drive by yourself. You need a navigator.
But boy, can you parallel park.
Yes.
You can really parallel park. But it looks like the wood's all been redone.
Yes, I've redone it over the years. I do a few pieces, and then the next year, winter, I do a few more. And then eventually, I got it all done, so I started all over again. Because as I did more, I learned more about how to refinish it, and you have to be so careful because it's a veneer, and
Yes,
so
it
you
is.
don't want to.
Yeah, you can go through it. I did in a couple places.
Yeah.
And it's a telescoping steering wheel, if I
Yes, it
recall. Is
is.
that right?
Yeah.
That's a tray that pulls out.
Yeah,
that I'm
it's a
looking at.
map tray.
Oh,
It has a
okay.
light up under the clock.
Yeah, I
for the
had,
maps
and you see those 2 thumb screws up there at the top of that panel because you can flop that panel down, right?
Slide
And
it
all your
over,
switches
yeah.
and everything. And
Yeah.
because with a couple of my Jags, I would have to hot wire them every now and then. A switch would fail, so you'd drop it down and change the wires, and then your lights came on and you hit the defroster or something. But at least they came on.
Yeah, it's never boring driving a British car.
Oh, it is never. It is always exciting.
Yeah.
And I love the picnic tables. I had
well,
those
thank
too,
you.
and that's such a great touch. You know,
Yeah.
it's so elegant. And I bet I bet it's just an incredibly smooth ride too.
Yes.
I mean, it's just and you know, it just floats. Oh yeah, and these they have dual tanks, right?
Yes.
There's a gas tank
On
in
each
fender.
side, yes.
Like 8 or 9 gallons a piece or something like that. I can't remember.
I think they're 12 gallons.
Oh my gosh! Well, it's the 420G.
Yeah.
My S
Bigger
type was only
one.
7, I think.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
and it's just it's such a for 67, this is an old set of lines. You know.
Yeah.
But again, it's just really elegant and timeless in its own right.
Yes, it is.
And I bet
enjoy
you're
it.
the only person at almost every show that has one of these.
Just about.
Yeah.
We know one other person that has one that we know personally, but we never see them
No.
at other shows. I'm usually the only one
Yeah.
unless he's there.
I'm pretty sure that's true. So, still original Jag engine?
Yes, it is.
Well, let's have a look at it.
Okay.
Well, I love the creak. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm thinking I need to grease that.
I just love these engines. Dual overhead cam, inline six. This would have been on, is this 4.2?
Yes, it is.
And you still got the 3 SUs. They, in 69 or so, they went to dual Strombergs. But you still got the 3 SUs, which are a challenge to keep balanced.
Yeah. Thankfully, we have a good mechanic, so.
When these are running right, there's just nothing that runs like them.
They're purr.
They purr. And,
Yeah.
And this, they're so smooth, and they have, really a lot of power. Now this is pulling some weight.
Yes, it is.
Does it still have some pretty good get up and go?
It'll get up and it's a cruiser. It weighs about 4,500 pounds.
Wow.
So
wow, that's
my husband's Z-Type had the same motor, and what do they weigh? Like 3,000 or something.
Less. Yeah. It's gorgeous. Has the engine been gone through too, or is that pretty much?
That's pretty much all original. We've had the carburetors rebuilt.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Wow, how many miles?
58,000 on it now.
Man. And was it, when you found it, was it a California car? Was she pretty solid?
Yes. Well, she had a couple of rust spots, and they cut them out, replaced the metal before we had it repainted. But they were on the bottom. One of them was that rocker panel under there. The water would collect.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So how long ago was it painted?
Well, we've had it painted twice. The first time was about 20 years ago, and the second time was about 8 or 10 years ago.
So I mean, it's a nice paint job too. I love the vinyl leather wrap. I mean, everything's just the detail, the touches in these cars.
Yeah.
I just love this car. I love this car.
Well,
so glad you brought it. So it's a 1967 Jaguar 420G.
G.
Barbara, I love your car.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Jeff, another person that I've seen before.
Another person you've
but
seen
not
before.
here.
No.
You and I met in down in Solvang.
Solvang.
At the Wheels and Windmills.
Wheels and Windmills.
Yeah. And you had the doggone thing there. It was a bakery delivery truck that had lived in New Zealand.
Lived in New Zealand.
Was it Morris?
It was a Morris 8.
Yeah.
And his name was Nigel.
Nigel. Yes, right. Yeah, that thing was so cool. And I saw it and I was, oh man, I got to talk to this cat. And it was a fun interview. It was a fun fun show. And I see you're actually even sporting the.
Well, you gave that to me.
I know. You got the My Classic Car official. And lo and behold, I'm walking around here and I see this other crazy thing, and it's yours.
It's mine.
Go figure. So let's talk about it. What are we looking at here? I mean, I've never seen one of these.
This is basically a Bugatti made from tractor parts.
Oh, is it? Okay.
No, it's a 29 Model A Boattail Speedster. So the Boattail part, the wood part, is all steam bent red cedar planks, all hand steam bent.
So that's really a boat.
That's really a boattail. So it's built like a canoe. So it's up on ribs.
Yeah.
And then you steam bend the wood, attach it, and lay the next piece up, lay the next piece up, lay the next piece up.
So how much can you bend at a time? I've always wondered that when you're doing steam bending.
Well, if you look at how that long run on the side from right where the firewall is all the way to the back, that's a good 7 foot.
Yeah. So how much of a bend can you put in, or do you do that all at once over a period of time?
That would be bent at one time.
Wow.
Because you couldn't steam it, lay it up, and then try to steam it and make it go again.
Right. So you steam it. You're going to bend a 7 foot piece over what period of time?
That'd have to be over a period of maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, no kidding.
Maybe 15 minutes tops.
That's
because
it.
it's gonna unsteam.
Yeah.
And then start to stiffen up.
And you just want it stiffening up where you want it.
Stiffen up where you want it and put it in place. And once it dries, it's set. It's formed. So it's nailed in place with brads. So then they're stacked on top, and they aren't glued in between, because if you glue them in between, they wouldn't have a chance to be able to move and to twist and
they
to
do
work.
need to.
They need to work as the sun and the cold.
Well, so the nails and stuff, the brads are like where?
So they're here.
I see.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. Run right on like that. Yeah. So you have a row here, a row here, a row here, a row there.
I love this, and then you kind of inlay there.
Well, the cool thing about this, if you feel this like this, come here like that, you feel that.
Oh.
That's just a sexy.
Oh, it's very.
It isn't though.
Very nice.
But the thing is that you've got a bend going this way.
Yeah.
But then you got to have a bend going that way as well to make that compound curve. To make that curve to come down.
Is that is all in one bend?
All in one bend. Yeah, all in one bend.
So
attach it here, get it turn it, attach it here, turn it, attach it here, turn it, attach it.
So how many times do you do one of those and you get this far and it's not?
Oh, it'd snap.
Yeah.
It would snap.
So then you start over.
You'd have to.
With a new piece.
Yeah, you got a lot of firewood. A lot of kindling.
Really smells good when it burns, though. So it's really nice.
Red cedar.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And then this is just a something to kind of cover up the final seam.
Come to the final seam, cover it up. Yeah.
Wow. Now, how long ago was this built?
2011.
Wow. So now, does it open up on you at all, or do you have to
Well, you have to keep the varnish up on it. Right
Yeah.
now, it has 15 coats of varnish.
Wow.
So varnishing is much like Sisyphus. Remember Sisyphus? He's the guy that rolled the rock to the top of the
Yeah,
hill.
yeah.
Well, varnishing is the same way. You put the varnish on, sand the varnish off. Put this varnish on, sand the varnish off.
Right.
So it's got 15 coats now, and over the winter I'll put another 15 coats on. So I'll want to lay it up to get 30, 40 coats on.
So you can see the inside of this work.
Yep, you can see the inside here. Just take the front seat down, and you can see the ribs.
Oh yeah. Now, so they're plywood ribs, eh?
Plywood ribs, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, plywood ribs. So it's built like a canoe.
Uh-huh. Man, oh man.
And then
that's,
just flip it over.
So if you actually went in the water, you just would want to make sure
You'd want to be on upside down. But it's a water-cooled engine.
So
So it's all right.
that's really. And was it built out here?
No, it was built in New York,
It was. Wow.
in Adirondack, New York.
Wow. Well, they kind of know how to do that stuff there, don't
Yeah,
they?
canoe makers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the rest of it is
The rest of it's stock 1929 Model A. It was a Model A Roadster,
yeah.
and it has the standard 201 cubic inch side valve flathead engine, but it's been hopped up a little bit because it is a Speedster.
Of course.
So it has a 6-to-1 high compression head.
Which is high for a Model A.
For a
yeah.
Model A.
Yeah.
A high lift cam, balanced babbited crank, light and flywheel, that sort of thing.
Wow. So I mean, it's fairly, and it doesn't weigh much.
Oh, no,
This
yeah.
doesn't weigh much at all.
Yeah, no, because it's all hollow.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I bet this is.
So it only weighs maybe 1,200 pounds wet.
So it's a go-kart.
It's a go-kart, yeah, with mechanical brakes.
Oh, great.
Thanks goodness we can text now, because I can go ahead and text ahead, say I'm braking.
Just warning you, giving a heads up.
Here we go.
So was just this part built in New York, or was the whole?
The whole deal.
thing was
the
it?
whole deal. Yeah.
Now, did you commission it, or
Nope,
did you find it?
Nope,
You find it
I
done?
found it, yeah. I found it. So I bought it, and it wasn't this shape when I bought it. It was pretty rough. So I've taken this and have taken it all the way down to bare wood, bleached it, and then stained it. This is a Chris Craft walnut. So this is a period stain. So Chris Craft is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. So this is a Chris Craft 1920s, 30s color they would have. So I figured it'd be appropriate for the
so
car.
appropriate.
Yeah.
So appropriate.
And then spar varnish.
Yeah. It's really a great piece of work. I mean, geez. Is it? I mean, do you actually really drive it?
I drive it. No, I drive it regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
fun? It's got to be fun.
It's big fun. You gotta have a pair of goggles when you drive it.
Yeah, I believe that. Because you would set way above
You
these
sit,
little
yeah, all
doodads,
this does is direct the wind to your face.
Yeah, great.
That's
Thank
all-
you.
that's all
Thank
it
you.
does. It just directs the bugs to your forehead.
Perfect.
Then we have the custom hood ornament, of course. So I found a
where did you
motorboat trophy
find
from
that?
the 1950s. Took the
Oh.
trophy top, cut it off,
Oh, that's just
and then
too
put
cool.
it onto a.
So let's have a look at this hopped up hot rod Model A.
So 201,
Yeah.
flathead side valve, but it has a self-advancing distributor, so I don't have to worry about trying to do that.
The centrifugal thing, or
A centrifugal thing,
Yeah.
But it also has the Hollywood wolf whistle. That's the one that goes whoosh like that. So
whoa, you gotta have one.
works
of those.
off the vacuum. So you've got that, and then of course you've got the Ugelhorn.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
You got to
too.
have the Ugelhorn too.
Now, this runs off the exhaust or the
That
intake? rather?
this runs off the intake manifold here.
Okay.
So it runs off vacuum. It's a vacuum
Oh,
off the
so-
intake manifold.
That's it. So it's a whistle that draws in.
Draws in. Correct.
How interesting.
also
Man,
fair.
these are such simple little
There's
engines.
such, and the thing about them is that literally, if you had a crescent wrench, pair of pliers, screwdriver,
You can do it.
you can do it. And they're very simple, but they're really robust, and they have great support parts. I mean, you can buy the entire car
Absolutely.
in a catalog for everything from the frame
Yeah.
up.
Was the color a choice too, or that it's a
No, that was my choice. I like that green. My wife likes green, so I figured I'll paint it that green for her. And
you're kind of camel
Yeah.
color there. It's
Yeah.
like you almost did. If it wasn't for the flamingos, I don't think I would see it.
But I figured that the color would work well with the leather, and then work well with the boat color. So tried to be a little harmonious.
And you've got, I mean, it's all the period suspension and everything.
Yep,
too,
it's all mechanical brakes. There are shock absorbers, which you wouldn't have modern type shock absorbers.
Yes.
But it's still that frame built mechanical brake, rod brakes. But when they're right, and these brakes are right, when you get them right, you can stand on the brakes and you can skid all 4 tires.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're good.
Now do you come to this show regularly?
Come to the show, yeah, pretty much every year, and
it's a great show.
I bring a variety of cars.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's a great show, it's a real family-oriented show.
Yeah.
Where you have little kids, because a lot of interactive things, they can crawl inside airplanes and get inside stuff, crawl around and see stuff, and the cars aren't so closely packed together that like you feel almost intimidated.
Yeah. Well, and even for big kids, us big kids.
Yeah.
When do you get to be around like an F-14
Yeah.
or
When do you get to sit in the shade of an F-14?
Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. And then you have guys that will be here and said, I used to fly that plane. And they have stories about that.
Well, and it's not just the planes, because there's all the other military gear, and or I was in that tank or that armored personnel carrier.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't get that every day.
Don't.
You don't get that every day. Let's put this baby back down.
Yep.
Your home-built Bugatti out of tractor parts.
Out of tractor parts, that's right.
Oh, that's right. You got to turn that.
Turn that, much like a Rolls Royce, where you have to turn the flying lady.
Maybe a little like a Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce-esque.
Well, I tell you, Jeff, you always have something cool. You're always fun to hang with.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, good to see you.
Can't wait to see what you got next.
Well, you'll have to wait.
Hey, Jim, this is cool. And I've never seen one. This has been a day for never seen one. This is a 71 Super B, but it's a Charger Super B.
Correct.
I didn't know. I mean, what's the deal there?
It's,
I think of this as a Charger. I didn't know they did a Super B.
Chrysler made a bunch of changes in '71, like they often did.
On the fly.
Yeah. So from '68 to '70, it was the Coronet body style, and then of course they
for the
made
Super B.
For the Super
Yeah.
B. So they made so in '71 they made a bunch of changes. Then which was this body style.
Right.
Plymouth did the same thing with the Satellite Belvedere, Roadrunner convertible. So the whole body was different. So that got rid of the Coronet body style. That got rid of the Coronet line, I guess. And so they did the Super B one more year, and this ended up being the last year of the Super B, and it was the only year of the Charger Super B.
Well, I was going to say, because it's really a Charger.
Yeah.
It's really a Charger, but it's also a Super B.
Yes.
Two cars in one.
That's right. And the RT was the same thing. It left the Coronet body style and went on to the Charger body style, and the same deal one year the last year.
It was the Coronet RT, so I could see slapping the RT on the Charger.
Well, the Super B also was a Coronet body style.
It was, but they never called it the Coronet Super B. Like the RT, I always saw the RT as a Coronet RT.
Yeah, Coronet RT.
Yeah, but so when I saw this, I went, huh? Did you just do that? No, Chrysler did that.
No, this is all original.
Wow.
The way it was.
And it really is. It's really nice. This is a big car.
Yep.
It's got a lot of side.
Yep.
And these smooth curves, and I don't see a ding or any. This thing is straight and smooth and slick. Did you have to do this? Did you buy it this way?
No, this car went. I bought it from an old buddy of mine in Modesto. It was Curious Yellow when I got it.
Oh, I remember that.
It looked like a nice.
Looked like a banana.
Well, it looked like it was rode hard, put away, wet, used car. A really good car to start with.
Yeah.
But once you dug into the body and everything, you found old damage, and of course all the glass was completely replaced with ECS date-coated new glass, because this car originally was an Oakland, so we found all kinds of broken glass inside, and the windows were all replacement windows, like 1975, 1976, from when they got smashed out. So an insurance claim.
Wow.
So all that got done, but ECS makes all the date-coated. I wanted everything OEM.
I mean, it looks it. How about the color? Is that actually a factory color though?
Yeah, this is the original, back to the original color. It's 71 gold leaf metallic.
Wow. I mean, it's pretty striking on this car.
Yeah, black, same deal what you see, black interior, the stripe package, the dog dish wheels, and the spoilers I added. They were
the body color wheels were
they would have been black or body color.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. We couldn't find a build sheet, so I was like, well, I'll go body color. And then the machine gun tips on the back, most likely they would have came with it, but we couldn't find a build sheet. So I was just some options I had to put on.
The front spoiler, the rear wing were
that was a factory option.
options.
This car didn't have them, but I added them because I just had to have them.
You gotta have them. Chrome looks great too. Yeah. So did you have to re-chrome it?
Yeah, these were all re-chromed. This car would have been chrome, just like you see, chrome bumpers, chrome mirrors. Everything pretty much is OEM original, always what it was.
And you can get pretty much the striping kits and stuff anymore. They're reproducing that.
Yeah, performance car graphics stuff made them.
How about the Super Bee? Is that a Super Bee logo for this 71, or that would have been on other Super Bees?
The 71 year got stickers. The previous years, from what I understand, it was an actual emblem.
And
you can buy them. They do make them.
Wow.
But this car got all decals, except that the fender emblems and that kind of stuff.
When I saw that fender emblem Super Bee, I was like,
I've heard it more than once. A lot of guys say they didn't do that.
That's exactly what I said. I said,
yeah, we did a lot of research, but I didn't know it until years ago when I bought it. And then over time, you'll see more of them pop out. They're out there. You just have to. I was trying to find another gold one, and finally, since this one got done, I finally have spotted like 4 more gold ones.
Of course, that's how it always is.
Even in California. So I was like, that was really nice to see other ones that were gold.
Yeah. Well, it looks to me like you've pretty much redone all the interior, but back to factory.
Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly the way it was. Black interior, rally gauge, pistol grip 4-speed.
And that has to be a reproduction, because you still see the wood grain, because that's all sweated off in an original.
Yeah, that was sent off to a place that he specializes in redoing your.
Oh, so it's an original, but he wood grained it. Oh,
wood grained it. He'll use an airbrush. It's like a technique, and
yeah, but boy, I tell you, you've done it right on the body. It is smooth. And this adds a lot. I do think that you almost have to have that, don't you?
Well, I mean, just look at this big deck lid and imagine nothing on it.
Yeah.
You can't. I had to have it.
You had to have it. No, I'm with you on that. And I always like the tail panel here. I think the tail lights are great on this car. And this is a car too that this whole generation, this body, was one that kind of came and went. People didn't treat these nice.
Yeah.
And they're you don't see that many of them because they were just used up. And
you'll really see that when you go to restore one.
Yeah, really.
You'll see. Well, they all have war scars.
Well, plus this wasn't Mopar's heyday for quality either. So the doors tend to sag within the first year,
but that's why you'll see in the trunk, you'll see a lot of times on Chryslers you'll see the quarter panels and the bottoms are rusting out.
Yeah.
Trunk floors can go. Rocker panel areas will go, because basically what they did in the factory is they would dip these. They would dip them, or they'd put an epoxy primer on them, and that was it. And it may or may not have got on the whole car. So over time, 15 years later, your car's already rusting out.
Yeah.
Vinyl tops are the worst.
They are. Yeah.
But
they rust underneath them too.
The best. It's better if you had an undercoated car, because one thing I've seen with old Mopars is, if you get under there and it's undercoated, some of it may be dried, but you don't have rusted out floors either.
Yeah.
And there was a time I took undercoating off of another floorboard on a Cuda, and I'm like, why did I even do this? Because no rust and all the paint was still there, and
the way
it's good undercoating.
The way you want it, yeah.
It was good undercoating.
The rest of it might not have been, but that undercoating.
that helps you with a lot with rust.
It really does.
But they didn't put it down inside the quarter panels.
Yep.
And then the drain plugs, they weren't at the lowest point. They were too high, so there was that much water that still would stay in the bottom, and then dirt added later, and sooner or later it just made its way through that bare metal.
I saw you're badged 383. Let's go look at that. What do you say? Boy, that's a big hood. Wow, I didn't actually realize how big that was. 383 Magnum. Boy, that looks good. And engine bay body color. That's a Mopar thing.
Yep.
So you've actually, obviously this has been totally blown apart, and
yeah, this body was on a set of rollers. That's the way you do them. And then Well, the first thing is the body and paint, then you get the body together, and then the whole drivetrain goes together. And this car, actually, what happened was it ended up on a lift, and then the drivetrain was all assembled, wheeled under it, and then the body set down.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's the way they did it at the factory. It's better.
Oh, really, eh? Well, you've got all the, like, the engine markings and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you kind of brought it back like this how she came.
Yeah. Yeah, those are SO numbers. I called a historian to
No kidding.
ask him about it, and he gave me the numbers.
And that's a great engine. Everybody wants 440 or, 426. 383 is just it's a powerful engine. It's durable.
Oh yeah, you can get them to perform real good.
And it's a big block.
But they're also still, in the muscle car world, they're actually the more affordable ones to get.
Absolutely.
Hemis and 440s are just...
Well, they break less too.
Yeah.
They break less. And you sure did the engine right. I mean, that's just, this thing, whole thing looks showroom.
Oh yeah, nothing was spared. I mean, I'm the type of guy, I get wigged out on part numbers.
Yeah, I can see that. I sense that,
Yeah, and then all the little markings, like if you get underneath the car,
they're there.
Yeah. And then of course the transmission, I still have to do the color codings and the part number stamp and stuff.
But I know you will.
Oh, I will. It's just a matter of, it's the time. I mean, you spend a whole day just cleaning one of these things up, just getting ready for a show, and then I'm like, well, I'm out of time. I got to put it away. And
well, I mean, it's so nice. Do you even drive it?
Oh yeah, but
not much.
I drive it. I look at it as keep the risk down, because once you're done with one of these, like if this gold paint gets chipped really bad, it's hard to match the color.
Yeah,
it really is.
And you don't want to start over.
No, and once you do a full-on restoration, it's like you don't want to do it again.
Once is enough.
Especially if you're doing another car or something like that. Yeah. So you drive it, just don't drive it to work every day, know?
How long have you had it?
I've owned this car almost 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, have you been to the Warbirds Wings and Wheels show before?
I have, but this is the first time this car actually
went.
It's
a fun show, though.
Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, really nice. This is the first time I've been in this show. Otherwise, I just came to the show and came to the museum.
It's the first time you showed.
Yeah.
Do people dig the car?
A lot of people have been looking at it.
Yeah.
They've, in fact, just like you've asked it, a lot of people asked me, they did a Super Bee in 71?
So I'm not the only one. That's
yes,
good to know.
Yes, they did.
Trust me, they did this. I did. We'll close this baby back up. Right. This is a very nice car. Would you say 23 years? 20?
I've had it about 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, 71 Dodge Charger Super Bee.
Yes.
Which I didn't know they made. Thanks for bringing it out, Jim.
All right. Thank you.
Way cool. Well, that's it for Warbirds Wings and Wheels, at least for this year. I'm telling you, it's a great museum. It's a great show. You gotta check this out.
Hi.